Hey there, it's Kathleen Jasper, and today I'm going to show you how to think like a test maker and work backwards on your certification exams so that you can narrow down your answer choices before you even read the question. Now, this works across all tests. It won't work for every single question, but it works for the majority of questions. And I'm not just talking about my study guides. We're going to be using the test makers resources to show you how to do this. Let's get started. So when you see a question like this, and this comes from the Michigan Lower Elementary Pre-K3 subtest, this is from a Pearson exam, and this is available online. This is their release practice test. A lot of people will start right here and start reading and get all confused and messed up in the actual question. But I recommend you start with the answer choices first, because you're going to be able to find good answer choices and eliminate bad answer choices. Let me show you how to do this. Let's start here with A. The teacher should separate the students from one another on the rug to prevent distractions. Right away, that's going to be a red flag for me to cross that out. Do we separate students in real life? Yes, absolutely we do. And do we push them away from each other on the rug if you're having story time or whatever on the carpet time? Yes, we do. But on this test, it sounds punitive, and you want to stay away from punitive answers. So A is out. B, the teacher should call on students to answer questions more often to encourage them to pay attention. This one's okay. We do want students to pay attention, but it doesn't really give a lot of information here, and just randomly calling on students isn't necessarily a best practice. I don't love it. I'm going to cross it out. C, the teacher should look for books to read that feature important characters reflective of students' cultures. Well, this word right here, students' cultures, is a good word on these exams. Now, if you live in Florida, where I'm from, this is probably a bad word currently in Florida, and the governor is trying to ban all of these books. But in real life, we know that finding books that relate to students' cultures and reading those books are a good thing. So this one looks like a really good answer choice. I am going to just put a little dot there by that. And D, the teacher should invite the students' parents, guardians to come into the classroom and observe students' behavior. Now, this one might sound good because it's like, oh, we're bringing the parents in, but parents don't really have time to come in to observe your classroom. Plus, this could be seen as punitive, and that students might think, oh, my parent is here, maybe I'm in trouble. It's not as good as C, so I'm going to cross that off. So right away, I have a good answer choice here. Let's read the question stem. So even when I go up here to make sure that I am getting the correct answer, I'm still not starting here. I'm going to start here at the last sentence of this particular question. And it says, the teacher should begin to foster greater engagement by taking which of the following steps rooted in theories of culturally relevant reading instruction? Well, right away, look at that. C stands right out to me. Culturally relevant, I have the word cultures here. You'll see that a lot on these exams. Sometimes they'll match what they're asking you, and this is the best answer choice. So work backwards when you're talking about those pre-K3 tests. Now I have another pre-K3 from the Michigan exam as well. And let's have a look at this. So you can see we've got a pretty long question here. We do have the question stem starting about right here. Let's start with the answer choices. Providing a lower level text that is more easily comprehensible. Right away, red flag, no way. Now, do we sometimes give students books that are on a lower reading level if they're having trouble? Yes, we do, but it's not a best practice. We should be trying to get students on level. And so on this exam, providing lower level text is a bad word. Don't do it. A is out. B, teaching the student to use a graphic organizer. Ooh, graphic organizer, good word. Good word. To extract meaning, more good words from text. B is looking really good to me. I'm going to keep it. Let's go to C. Encouraging the student to reread the text a second time before attempting to answer questions. This is just busy work. What are we doing here? We're just rereading a second time. Do you think the kid's going to get it a second time if she or he did not get it the first time? Not as good as B. B is a way better practice here. D, having the student skim and scan for specific words. Okay, I like skimming and scanning for reading instruction in the question and the text to look for the answers. It's okay. I don't love it. I love B. B's got the good words graphic organizer, extracting meaning. I like it. I like it. Let's go to the question stem, which is right here. Which of the following strategies would most effectively promote students' comprehension? Well, a graphic organizer helps with comprehension, right? Because students can organize information. And also, what is comprehension? You're extracting meaning. Notice how this right here lines up with the word comprehension. So I already got the correct answer without ever having to read the question. And I don't have to read all of this here and get all confused. I just read the answer choices and the question stem. Now, if you want, you can read more of the question after you've figured this out just to check, but you don't have to get lost in the question. Go straight to the answer choices, find the best answer, and then shoot for that question stem. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, this is for the Praxis Teaching Reading 5205. This is coming straight from the ETS Study Companion. So this is that big document that ETS gives you online. And I recommend you download it and save it to your computer if you're taking this test. It's a very important document. And look at all this. This is like a lot. All right. So I'm not even going to go there yet. I'm going to go right here. Now, high frequency sight words for A. Okay. Short vowel sounds for B. Initial consonant sounds, C. Phoneme segmentation, D. Now, I can't really narrow anything down by looking at just the answer choices, but what I just did was I figured out, okay, we're looking for skills here. You know, high frequency sight words is a skill, short vowel sounds is a skill, initial consonants and phoneme segmentation are all skills. So I'm gonna have to match the skill probably to this giant scenario up top. All right, now let's go to this part here, still working backwards. The activity primarily targets the student's understanding of which of the following. All right, I still can't figure it out yet. All right, now let's go to this. I am not going to start here and get all confused up in here. Let's go with this last sentence here. Where is the G sound in frog? Now, when you have something like this or this, those are sounds. Those little slanted lines show you that those are sounds, okay? Now, I'm asking where the G sound goes in fog. Is that a high frequency sight word? No, because I'm not talking about sight words. I'm not even talking about the word as a whole. I'm just talking about the sound in the word. So A is out. Short vowel sounds, is G right here a vowel? No, it's a consonant. Okay, so B is out. Now we do have this word consonant sounds, but it says initial consonant sounds. Where's the G sound in fog? It's at the end. Those are ending consonants or ending consonant sounds. So C is out. D, phoneme segmentation. Now let's say I don't know what phoneme segmentation is. I'm a new teacher. I'm new to this. I have no idea what that even means. However, I eliminated A, B, and C because they don't work here. So I can confidently pick D, even though I'm not real sure what it means because I know the other three are out. Now let's talk about phoneme segmentation really quickly so you know for this video. When we talk about the word fog, it has 3 phonemes or 3 sounds in it. Ah, g. 3 sounds, the F sound, the ah sound, and the g sound, okay? Now, it's asking you about this G sound here. So we are talking about phoneme segmentation because we segmented a piece of that word, a sound from that word, and we're trying to hear it and find out where in the word it happens. Now, I got the answer to that question without even knowing what phoneme segmentation is, although I did just explain it to you. And I didn't have to read all this and get all messed up. I went straight to the very last sentence. Always work backwards. And this is an actual test question from the study companion from ETS. This is not my test question. This is their test question. All right. Let's do another Praxis Teaching Reading 5205. Okay. This is another way to do it. Again, I've got a long scenario question here, and then I have these longer answer choices here. All right. A, using only primary sources for research. In test prep, the word only is what we call strong language. And it is typically, not always, but typically the wrong answer. Okay, because you're just narrowing everything down to only this one thing, which is primary sources. I'm crossing it off based on that strong language. B, evaluating sources based on their authority, relevance, and accuracy. Oh, look at all the good words. Evaluating, high-level skills, authority, relevance, and accuracy. Now, just by these first 2 answer choices, I think we're looking at research here and what we should be doing when we're looking for books and articles and things like that, if I'm thinking like a test maker. So B is looking really good, much better than A. I'm going to circle B. Let's go with C. Examining the information to ensure it is thorough enough for the topic. Well, we have the word examining. It's okay, not as good as evaluating. And to ensure it is thorough enough for the topic, it's a little vague. I don't love C. I love B. I'm keeping it. D, incorporating resources that are blogs or wikis, no matter what type of research. Okay, no matter the type of research. That's more strong language. No matter what, that's stronger language. I don't like it. I'm crossing it off. So I have B here. Now let's go to the question stem to check. Which of the following statements describes the most important guiding principle of assessing the reliability of sources? Well, only primary sources is not necessarily the only reliable option. A is out. Evaluating sources based on their authority, relevance, and accuracy. Does that contribute to reliability? Yes, it does. Ensuring it is thorough enough for the topic, again, too vague, and no matter what the type of research, well, we know blogs and wikis aren't necessarily reliable. And you can tell this, this test is old because who's using wikis? Hopefully you're not. I mean, it just feels like, it's like, oh, can I get my CD-ROM? Let me put my CD-ROM in my computer. Okay, sorry. If you're using wikis, I don't mean to make fun of you. They might be working for you. All right, let's have a look at the Principles of Learning and Teaching, another ETS exam. And this comes straight from their study companion, not my test question, their test question. This is a short answer or a short question, but let's go to the answer choices first anyways. Mention the rules once at the beginning of the school year. Well, you know, if you saw my classroom management video that I posted, I think a couple weeks ago, I'll link it up here, that you do not just mention rules at the beginning of the year. They need to be practiced and discussed throughout the year. So A is out. B, state the rules in a forceful way to establish authority. Now, should we do that? Or maybe we feel that we should do that. Yeah, I mean, we got to be the authority in our classroom, but this is punitive language. This sounds punitive to me. We want to stay away from that on this exam and in life in general. We don't want to be punitive. B is out. C, explain why the established rules are necessary for enhancing student cooperation. Okay, that sounds good. I love the word student cooperation, the word enhancing, and even explaining. Just putting rules up and expecting them to follow them is not going to work. But if we talk about them and we say why they're important, looks good. I'm going to keep C. D, create as many rules as possible to guarantee order. Well, we know that's not going to guarantee order. That's just going to create confusion. So already I have C as my correct answer. Let's have a look at the question here. Which of the following is best? You'll see this a lot, or most effective for a teacher to do when establishing classroom rules. Obviously, C is the best answer. Remember, if you're new to teaching, you may go with the way it was done long ago or the way you think it's done. Punitive is bad on this exam and in the classroom. I mean, there are consequences. There needs to be consequences in the classroom. I talk more about this in my classroom management series. I will link all that up, but we want to make sure that we are, you know, this because I said so kind of deal doesn't work with kids. It doesn't work with anybody. It's never really worked with kids. And so explaining them and discussing the rules is your best bet here. And again, I worked backwards, got the answer without even having to read the question. All right, now let's have a look at one of the more complicated exams. This is the school licensure assessment. This is for school leaders. This is when you want to become an assistant principal. And I do have all kinds of programs for this too, but this is from the study companion by ETS. I want to show you how, even on these harder tests, the work backwards method works every time. All right, so let's start with the answer choices. Collaborate, good word. To increase student achievement, yes. Across all student populations, I love it. Why? Well, I have the word collaborate. I have the word increase student achievement. And if you're a school leader, that's your goal. That's your goal above everything else, is to increase student achievement. And then across all student populations, that means no matter race, gender, socioeconomic, you are pulling those kids up to meet those achievement levels. And that is our goal as school leaders. So A's got it all. Let's take a look at B. Use a flexible schedule, okay, that meets individual teachers' needs and preferences. Okay, I love my teachers and I do think we need better schedules, but how am I going to use a flexible schedule to meet every single individual teacher's needs? The school where I was an assistant principal, there were 80 teachers. I can't have 80 schedules. This is unreasonable. B is out. C, write units of instruction that are tailored to school needs and district requirements. It's okay. I'm going to put a dot here. I like A way better. C's okay. D, utilize tiered interventions. Okay. For at-risk students to increase the likelihood of achievement gains. Okay, I like D also. D's pretty good. I actually like D better than C. So I'm going to cross off C, and now I'm down to 2. A is better because we've got that collaborate and across all populations and all of that, but D's pretty good too. Now, I see the word PLCs here. PLCs, it's jumping out at me because it's an acronym, all right? Now, what do PLCs do? What do we do in PLCs? Well, these are called professional learning communities, right? Well, what's a community do? They collaborate together. Teachers collaborate. Let's read the question stem. The primary benefit. Again, when you're reading these questions, sometimes people say, well, there's more than one right answer. No, there's not, because in the question stem, it says most effective, best practice, primary benefit. The best one here of PLCs is that they will allow the teachers to do which of the following. Well, what is the primary benefit? Teachers get into their PLCs, their professional learning communities, and then they collaborate, they look over achievement data, and they figure out how to move populations of students towards that achievement benchmark or whatever. A is my answer, and notice I got it before I even read the question. D is out, and that's how you work backwards to pass your exams. All right, so I hope that helps. Now listen, it's not going to work for every single question on every single test, okay? But I always recommend you work backwards. I even work backwards on math exams just to figure out what the answer choices are in terms of, is it money, is it percentage, is it decimals? It always helps you to just kind of get in your mindset, what are they looking for in terms of the answer choices? And then sometimes you'll have these long scenario questions, especially on these reading exams and the SLLA 6990. And sometimes you'll even have a graph or something you have to interpret. 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to look at the graph. You just have to look at those answer choices and the question stem, and you can usually get it through that. So don't get lost in the wording of this giant question. Just go straight to those answer choices, think like a test maker, and pass. All right. Now, if you need more help with this, I have tons of resources at KathleenJasper.com. I have a study guide for the teaching reading. We do have an early childhood. This was the Michigan test. I don't do Pearson exams. I don't prep for those particular exams. We focus on Praxis. So we do have some early childhood there, some free webinars, all kinds of stuff. Head over to KathleenJasper.com if you are still looking for resources. Also in the links below, I have to subscribe to my newsletter. Definitely check that out. Become a member of this community. We send out newsletters and tips and discounts and all kinds of stuff every week. So get on that list. And if you need anything, comment below and let me know some of the other stuff you might need videos on, and I'll be happy to do them. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.